Radhe Radhe. In the previous shloka, Krishna says that how Vedic knowledge has been passed down from one generation to another through the ages, right? We saw that. True knowledge is always passed down in this way. Let's see what Krishna says about the parampara. These shlokas are the proof that we must accept a spiritual master who has come in a lineage of gurus or an authentic parampara only. Chapter 4, Shloka 2. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshyo viduhu sakala neha mahata yogo nashta parantapa. Translation. The royal sages thus understood this yoga of wisdom received through sacred tradition. O scorcher of enemies, over a great lapse of time, this yoga was gradually lost to the world. The very thing that makes God God, what is it? It is that He is the essence of wonder. His ways are wonderful. His acts are wonderful. He intrigues living entities because He is beyond our understanding. The only way we can understand Him is by first accepting Him. Arjuna is the perfect disciple, not because he was intelligent or wise, but because he is Krishna's dear friend. We cannot understand God by our senses. No wonder then that people with stupid minds think that Krishna is just like any other human being just because his actions seem like that. People don't know that his body also is transcendental. He is Bhagavan. Chapter 4, Shloka 3. Sa evayam maya tedya yoga prokta puratanaha bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hyetaduttamam. Translation. I have spoken that very ancient yoga to you today because you are my devotee and friend. It is certainly the supreme secret. Chapter 4, Shloka 6. Ajopi san avyayatma bhutanameshwaropi san prakritim swamadhishthaya sambhavamyatma mayaya. Translation. Although I am birthless and my transcendental body is immutable, and although I am the independent regulator of all beings, I still appear in this world while remaining situated in my own essential form and nature through my intrinsic power, Atma Maya. At the end of the darkest part of the night, we see the sun rising, right? In the dirtiest pond, we see the lotus blooming beautifully. Wherever the people are extremely treacherous, we see a divine personality emerging. These are indications of why Krishna said that he is what he said in the popular Yada Yada Hi verse, right? Krishna was born inside a prison house in order to free us from the shackles of this prison house of materialistic life and to grant us his mercy. Proof that he appears from time to time and proof that he is extremely merciful. Chapter 4, Shloka 7. यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्. Translation. O Bharata, whenever there occurs a decline of righteousness or dharma and an upspring of unrighteousness, at that time I manifest myself. Chapter 4, Shloka 8. परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. Translation: I manifest in every yuga for the protection of the virtuous, the eradication of the unvirtuous, and the establishment of dharma. What we assume and accept as true. It is said that we become exactly that in reality. A person who is spiritually oriented will be naturally attracted to objects and experiences that are spiritual, right? Similarly, God Himself is attracted to the person who is attracted to Him, simply because it is His nature to reciprocate the way we see Him. Many people have attained the supreme destination by knowledge of God. Krishna himself says his devotees are innumerable. Bhakti, real bhakti is rare, but bhaktas are not rare. Chapter 4, Shloka 9. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yu veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam eti sorjuna. Translation: O Arjuna, a person who knows thus in reality the transcendental nature of my birth and actions is not reborn after giving up the body, but he attains me instead. Chapter 4, Shloka 10. वीतरागभयक्रोधा मन्मया मामुपाश्रिताः बहवो ज्ञानतपसा पूता मद्भावमागताः. Translation: being completely freed from attachment, fear and anger, being fully absorbed in me, having taken refuge in me, and being purified through knowledge and penance, many have attained me in the past. There is a popular saying in Sanskrita, Yad bhavam tad bhavati. How we imagine and accept ourselves to be, we automatically and eventually become that. This is the law of the universe, right? Simply because the creator of the universe, the Supreme Lord Himself, is like that. It is His nature to reciprocate according to our beliefs and attitudes. This is why it is said that every experience is subjective and completely personal. The difference, however, is that even though God relates and connects with us on a personal level, He Himself is unattached. Unlike us who become attached to many things and persons in this material world, right? As we think of Him, He responds to the exact same bhava or emotion. How amazing, isn't it? Chapter 4, Shloka 11. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tamstataiva bhajamyaham mama vartmanuvartante manushya partha sarvashaha. Translation: I reciprocate with all who seek refuge in me in direct correspondence with the essential nature of their surrender. For all human beings, regardless of their disposition, follow my path in every respect, O son of Pritha. Our attitudes stem from our qualities. Our behavior stems from our attitude, and our destiny is created according to our behavior or actions. So all our actions are the consequences of our innate attributes, right? Krishna says that every single thing and person in this world is made up of these attributes, or what we call gunas. The famous Varnashrama system of ancient Bharata is just this grouping of people according to their prominent gunas or attributes. And it was a means for fair and easy conduct of the society. Right? Chapter 4, Shloka 13. चातुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टं गुणकर्मविभागशः तस्य कर्तारम् अपि मां विधियः कर्तारम् अव्ययम्. Translation: the four divisions of human society or the Varnas were created by me in accordance with the preponderance of the gunas operative in different people and in accordance with the corresponding character of their actions. Although I am the originator of this system, know me, the imperishable, as the non-doer, being beyond the gunas and changeless.